Hello, welcome to Permaculture and Homesteading Question and Answer Series number 3. Topics covered include Food Forest Garden Update, Do-It-Yourself Cheap Greenhouse, ShoreCall Fusion for Home Cell Phone Signal Booster, Hardwood Cutting Propagation, Planting Pawpaw Seeds, Kombucha Brewing, Groundhog Repellent, Free Fruit Trees, and more. This is one of a series of Q&A sessions that I will be holding over the next few months. These questions come from our YouTube channel, email, blog posts, comments, Facebook, and even a few face-to-face questions. If you would like to submit a question, you can do so in the comment section of any of the above mentioned medium, or you can email the question to me directly. My email address is todd@greatescapefarms.com. Our first question this week comes from YouTube. It comes from the YouTube Food Forest Garden Update, West Virginia, April 2017. So the background of this video. I did a food forest garden update where I walk through the garden, show various plants, and also show some of the supporting equipment. One of the supporting devices is a solar charge controller for an electric fence. I use it to keep deer out of the food forest. Rich asks, what brand/model is the solar panel? Groundhogs ruined me last year. Our answer. My model is the American Farmworks 30-mile solar panel low impedance charger and is a product that I found at my local Tractor Supply store. Here's the link, and I supplied the link in the blog post, which you can find at greatescapefarms.com. I didn't do any research on it, I just lucked into a great model, or at least Tractor Supply carries a good model. I have had my charge controller for going on 2 years now and have not had one issue with it. Our next question comes from a YouTube video titled Do-It-Yourself Cheap Greenhouse, or DIY Cheap Greenhouse. The background. The video is about an 8-foot by 7-foot greenhouse put together for about $250 with material you can find at your local hardware store and Tractor Supply store. One of the items used is a cattle panel. The cattle panels need to have the cross-sectional pieces on the inside so you don't poke holes in the plastic when you're pulling it over the top. When we were putting this system together in the classroom with a lot of people, we missed that detail. The question is, I notice your cattle panels are on backwards. You should flip them over so the cross wires are on the inside. Thanks, we were going fast with multiple people and that one slipped through the cracks. We actually did have a couple of slits in the plastic and we covered those up with some clear plastic tape. Appreciate the comments. Our next question comes from a YouTube video titled ShoreCall Fusion for Home Cell Phone Signal Booster Product Review. The background. This video was a product review of a cell phone signal booster. Several viewers commented on the length of the cables and how you can get even better signal with shorter cables. Question. Looks very similar to some systems that we used at work. I second the shortening of the cables. It is suggested to use the shortest cables that you can. Most of the models we use recommend an antenna to the booster be less than 75 feet, which can sometimes be challenging in a commercial environments, but shortening the cable as much as possible does improve your signal strength. Answer. The kit comes with one 50-foot cable and the other at 20 foot, so that keeps it at just under the 75 foot that you are talking about. I'll take a look at shortening the cables next time I'm out that way. Our next question comes from a YouTube video titled Hardwood Cutting Propagation, Winter Plant Propagation. The background. This video shows you how to do hardwood cutting propagation. This method is done in the winter time when the plants are dormant with all of their leaves having fallen off. Tom asks, does this work for fruit trees, apple, peach, and pear, or just a particular class, berries, of fruits? I know planting seeds of fruit trees are 1 in 100 for a chance of good fruit, but did you know if hardwood cutting on the fruit-bearing trees worked just as well or in place of grafting? Our answer. Hi Tom, the answer to your question is yes and no. You can root cuttings from a fruit tree, however, they are usually grafted for a reason. First, you really want the taproot that you get from the seed, and you will not get that taproot from a cutting. More important is the other qualities that you get from the rootstock of a grafted variety. That may be cold hardiness, disease resistance, dwarf versus full size, etc. You can certainly try it, but I'd recommend going to a place like Raintree Nursery and buying rootstock. Get it started for a year and then graft onto it. There are loads of videos out there on how to graft, and I'll be doing some grafting videos in the future as well. Good luck! Our next question comes from a YouTube video titled Planting Pawpaw Seeds. Background: this video shows how to clean, stratify, and plant pawpaw seeds. JD asked, is it the coastal Pacific redwood that requires this process? This question was referring to the stratification process. Hi JD. I use the stratification process on a number of different plants. It helps the seeds break dormancy. I'm on the east coast of the US and not sure about the requirements for Pacific redwoods. Sorry, perhaps somebody can comment here and help you out on the Pacific redwoods. Our next question comes from the YouTube video titled Mortier Pylon Kombucha Brewing Jar Product Review. Background: last fall in a PDC class I was in, a classmate gave me a SCOBY for making kombucha. I've been experimenting with tea ferment ever since, and now that I have several months under my belt, I tried out a product called Mortier Pylon Kombucha Brewing Jar, which is a purpose-built brewing jar for kombucha. The question is, I'm getting ready to start brewing kombucha. I'm a little nervous if it will all go well. Thanks for the review. Answer: have you checked out my other videos on kombucha? I added 2 detailed videos last month on how to brew kombucha. She replied, I did view your previous videos. Did you improve the flavor with successive ferments? My answer: I am still working on exact ingredients. I am currently working on sugar and ginger. I'm at 1/2 teaspoon of sugar and 1/4 teaspoon of ginger for my 12-ounce jar. My next experiment is to run the ginger through a blender so that I don't have the larger pieces of ginger in the bottle. Our next question was a face-to-face question that came from the Baltimore Orchard Project Spring Fruit Tree Fair. Background: this fair is an event run out of Baltimore City in the spring and fall. They give away a free fruit tree to each participant who attends. They also have a number of vendors that sell products, give out information, and they also do workshops. This spring I ran the companion planting workshop, and that is where the question stemmed from. The question from the crowd: I just received a pawpaw tree. What can I plant with a pawpaw tree as a companion? Answer: ramps are good because they are edible, like the shade under the trees, and help to deter deer browse. Hog peanuts have edible seeds and roots, which are really seeds that develop underground, are shade-loving, climb up and sprawl out, smothering the weeds, and fix nitrogen. Hog peanuts are popping up right about the time that the ramps are dying back in the summer, so they go well together. As for companions, I think of the usual suspects for fruit trees. These include daffodils, mints, garlics, annual legumes, bee balm, etc. Pawpaws have fetid flowers, that's F-E-T-I-D, meaning that they are pollinated by flies and beetles versus bees. Both mayapple and wild ginger have fetid flowers that attract the same sort of pollinators that pawpaws use, and they bloom around the same time, so it is part of my pollinating strategy. Our last question of the day comes from a YouTube with the title of Groundhog Repellent and Deterrent. Background: this video shows my attempts to keep a groundhog from getting under my deck. I am only out at the farm on weekends, and the groundhog is quite scarce when I am around, or I'd take care of him by other methods. But since I never see him, and it has been quite persistent over the last 3 months, I've waged all-out war with him. The question: Highview Hill Microfarm states fox urine does not faze them. Human pee on a rag in the hole will drive them out, according to some from the Parks Department in my area. I will let you know how it works out. Answer: I've not had good luck with fox urine in the past either, even as much as they advertise it. I haven't tried your method with the human urine. Highview replied back 1 month later. Well, my husband has been peeing in the corner of the fence where the groundhog has been entering, and no matter how we tried to block it, he always came in. Now that he's been peeing in the corner, we haven't seen him, at least in a few weeks. Well, that's it for this video. Please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel. Thank you very much and have a great day.